So yeah, this is good.
And even a beard. But if he simply turns his head, the computer doesn't recognize him because it can no longer measure the distance between his features. Pfister hopes that his 3D dome will teach the computer what a face looks like from all angles.
That's good.
He must put his subject into precisely the correct spot to make the image accurate. Together, the cameras create a composite image. More than 64,000 individual points make up a full face. This completed 3D image is called an avatar. Pfister can rotate or repose it to a frontal view to compare it to a database of faces. The hope is that someday, all criminals will be ID'd from any angle.
No, I think this is a very good start.
The 3D system holds great promise for future investigations, like the London bombing, where security cameras caught images from the side. This new technology might be paired with smart cameras, which could actually find faces and run them through a match system. The challenge for surveillance technology is to find individuals anywhere before they cause harm. And another lab offers a glimpse of a system that does just that.
Fly to Boston.
At a laboratory in Massachusetts, scientists are on a manhunt for a criminal. An FBI wanted poster arrives from headquarters. The wanted man's name is Thomas O'Connor.
Thomas, that's our guy.
O'Connor has committed bank fraud, embezzling hundreds of millions of dollars from banks around the world. They enter O'Connor's face into the recognition database. Using facial recognition software tied to millions of webcams placed on streets and buildings around the world, a global hunt begins.
Fly to Tokyo.
In each city, government-run web cameras scan the streets looking for a match.
London. Toronto.
They get a tip that O'Connor just entered the United States through New York.
Look at the buildings.
Yeah, of course.
Every building in the city appears in 3 dimensions, allowing a bird's eye view.
Let's check out the banks.
Lair, banks.
They ask the computer to show the location of every bank in New York.
I think we need to focus on one area. Head of Broadway.
Let's check out this stream video.
They scour Times Square, but there's no sign of O'Connor. They head to the financial district.
I'm gonna take this area.
Okay, that's actually quite a big area here.
A lot of activity in this area.
So it'd be good to check if there's any webcam around this area.
Thousands of webcams scan for a glimpse of O'Connor. And then, pay dirt.
Yeah, word. They entered this bank here.
A sensor goes off. A camera spots O'Connor in the hallway of a bank building. He walked this hallway only seconds before. They have found his face amid a sea of millions of other faces.
The report says that he's around this area.
From the command room, they dispatch patrol units to the scene and make the arrest.
That's perfect.
This control room is fictional, but all these technologies already exist. They just haven't been brought together yet. When they are, it will be nearly impossible for an undisguised face to go undetected. While facial recognition technology is advancing, the future of surveillance isn't just identifying what you look like on the outside. It's already moving inside your body, spying not just on you, but in you. And it's tightening security on the most sensitive borders in the world. Airports, the crossroads for billions of people, and one of our most vulnerable points of attack. Surveillance technology is critical, and when it comes to controlling borders, the eyes are everything. Iris recognition is a mathematical system that uses the colored part of the eye to determine who you are. Traditional passports can be forged, but your identical twin, or even your own other eye, has its own unique, uncopyable pattern. The iris is the only internal organ easily visible from the outside, and it has a pattern that never changes, so it serves as an ideal living passport. Irises are normally more than 10 times more accurate than fingerprints, and much more reliable identifiers than faces. You could easily be tricked into thinking this is a picture of the U.S. Vice President next to the President. But actually, Dick Cheney's eyes, nose, and mouth have been copied from Bush's face onto his own. It's hard to tell one face from another. There just isn't that much difference between them.
There's not very much randomness in faces. If faces had as much randomness as irises, then different faces would have random numbers of noses, 6 noses and 5 mouths and 3 eyes in different random positions. Then face recognition would work pretty well.
Cambridge University professor John Dogman is the inventor of iris recognition. It's the high degree of randomness in the iris that makes Dogman's system so powerful. His mathematical formulas are already helping track people along sensitive borders. A few airports in the United States are already employing iris recognition. But the largest user in the world is the United Arab Emirates. Every one of the country's ports of entry uses iris scanning, including the main airport in Dubai. The UAE counts on the system to catch people trying to enter the country illegally.
So cool.
80% of those living in the UAE come from abroad. To control this flow of humanity, all foreign visa holders are tracked against an immigration blacklist, a database of 500,000 criminals and visa violators. The country scans about 7,000 people each day.
Thank you. Next.
First, a scanner shoots invisible infrared light into the eye to locate and isolate the iris. Then, it plots the random patterns of the iris and constructs a mathematical equation called an iris code. In a single second, it compares this code against 500,000 other codes in a database and searches for a match. Today, Inspector Ibrahim has found a problem with a man who has just arrived from Iran.